Today we're going to talk about lovely things, and I want you to remember them and I want you to write them down. Part of surrendering is putting yourself in the right headspace, and to do that we need to ponder lovely things. Philippians 4:8. Dear brothers and sisters, one final thing. Fix your thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable. Think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise. And I would venture to guess that the majority of our time, what's going on in our heads, is not pondering lovely things and excellent and right and pure, but future tripping and thinking about the bad things and worrying and fear. So let's think about lovely things. I'll share with you mine. I did this when I was in Mexico. When there were some times when I was having a rough time, I went back and I wrote myself a reminder, and do it that way. Write it to yourself. I put Kirsten, so you put your name. And I gave myself a little bit of a kind of an intro. When you're feeling miserable, like you're not worth it, sad, full of despair, remember. Laughing with Georgia in bed, her feet at your head and her gorgeous green eyes. Laughing hysterically with your mom at grandma's funeral. I know that sounds horrible, but even though my grandmother's funeral was very sad, that moment with my mom of hysterical laughing, it was her, not me, and then she got me going, and my husband like trying to stop us. It's a beautiful memory. It's a lovely thing. It's laughter, and it's so healing. Not being able to catch your breath, tears running down your cheeks from laughing so hard. Running on the seawall in Punta Pietra, the glistening of the sun on the water, whales feeding in the calm of the Pacific Ocean. These are all things that I saw while I was there on a daily basis. San Felipe, all of the entire family in bed with a windstorm going on and no power. Sounds like a horrible thing, but it was really one of my favorite memories of all time. I wrote down just a few things that take you away from your world. Because when it feels bad, and when it feels hard, and when you get the diagnosis, or when you get the news, or when you haven't talked to your son for a year, or when the job is lost, it's really easy to just think about those things. And what you need to do is have the lovely things. And I don't want you to live in the past, because that's not the right thing either. There's still joy in the moment, but remembering the lovely things can help you see that there are lovely things even right now. Because if you're sitting in your despair and you're sitting in your grief, if you look up long enough to ponder some lovely things, it's part of the reason why we do what we're grateful for every single morning. Because sometimes it's hard to find those things, but even the simple things, like a cup of coffee, like a nice pillow, like a friend to call, those things can give you so much joy in that weight and in the surrender that you need. So I want you to write your letter to yourself, your lovely things, so that you can go back and ponder lovely things. So when things are bad, you can do that mind shift, you can do that mind change and be like, you know what, I'm not going to dwell on that. I'm going to dwell on running on the seawall in Punta Pietra. I'm going to dwell on the laughter with my mother, and the laughter with my daughter. Write your lovely things, because life really is lovely. We just sometimes have to look up from the grief and the pain long enough to find it, and you'll find it again, I